Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson, and I make these videos because it helps me process some of the stuff that I'm thinking about, and it also helps you process some of the stuff that you're thinking about. If you clicked on this video, we're going to be talking about looking at yourself, caring about yourself, loving yourself. It's something that is kind of fundamental to survival and your mental health, and sometimes, you know, you have those days where you're feeling down and feeling shitty and you don't really want to do anything and you kind of beat yourself up for not feeling good. Do you ever have those kind of days? How do you get through it? What are the kind of things that you do to work through that? Do you reach out to friends? What do you journal? What do you do? I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the specific area of like seeing yourself in the mirror. The opposition, the opposing image of yourself that you see. I have, I'll kind of describe my relationship a little bit. So, yeah, like, it's hard sometimes, honestly. I'll see myself in the mirror and I will not like what I see. And I've definitely worked through some of this just by resolving it, throwing money at the problem, getting FFS, and having certain surgeries to take care of that. I don't need to get into details. There's videos prior that I've made about this, but I've kind of worked my way down through my face, and it's helped me, like through the surgery, it's helped me get through a lot of it. But there's still parts of my face that I don't like. And one of those parts, for example, is like my birthmark, which you can't see too much because I have like lighting on, but when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can see it and you can see all the flaws, right? And maybe this is the thing that maybe you may deal with is when you look at yourself in the mirror, you often just, like, what do you look for? Do you see the flaws? Do you see the parts of you that are great? Like, what is it that you see, and how is it that you engage with that? I think if you are kind of like, I mean, if you're a woman, first of all, there's a lot more, what is the word? Pressure. There's a lot more expectation of like what you should be and how you should look like. And when you have all of this media that tells you what an ideal woman looks like and how they should look, and social media especially, you can't help, like, do you feel like you now have to adhere to some of those patterns, that you feel that your value is somehow attached to what you see? This is where it gets really hard, especially as a trans woman, because you have multiple layers going on, right? You have the fact that you are trans, and so there's a lot of rules based around what the expectations are being trans, and then you also have the fact that you're also trying your best to really present what you feel like being a woman is, and you also have like physical reality, which is that your body looks a certain way, you appear a certain way, there's a certain amount of damage testosterone has done, and now you're kind of like, how the hell do I reconcile all of these moving parts that aren't exactly tangible, right? Like you haven't written all of these things down, but it's a part of your mental model internal to yourself that you are now grappling with face to face when you look at yourself in the mirror. And we have our good days, right? Like we have our good days where you feel really, really good about yourself and you feel great. Like those are the best days, right? But then you also have days where you just kind of feel shitty, right? Like, do you have those days? And you look at yourself and you go, why would anyone find me attractive? Or why would anyone, I'm voicing my own thoughts too, right? Why would anyone find me attractive? Why would anyone like me? Like, I look horrible, and I don't see how anyone could find me attractive. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that hurts, right? But you don't say it out loud. You just feel it, and it kind of happens like that. There's no critique. There's no interruption. It's just boom, right? And the more, like, do you have any of those parts of your face that you stare at, that you just kind of look at and you dwell on and you go, man, like I wish my nose was just a little bit more like this, or I wish my lips were just a little bit more like this, or I don't like that corner of my face, or I don't like the way my skin looks here. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff, like that, that's the kind of stuff that like you start to amplify. And this is like perhaps how like people with dysmorphia have with their face. They just start to amplify the impurities of their face, and then they make them into demons. And then those demons have to be slayed by paying for surgery, but the result is that you never solve that problem. This is something that I wondered about before I got FFS, and it's something that I've kind of arrived at post-FFS, which is that I'm never going to get to that perfect, and seeking that perfect is never actually going to be healthy for me because I'll never get there. So like I'm like at 80%, 70% is good for me. And right now looking into the camera back, I'm like, this looks fine, right? But you have to, what is it I want to say? You're still stuck with something every single day. You have this mental part of you, right? And how it shows up depends on how you feel. So how can you turn this conflict, this part of you that can sometimes hold you down, beat you up, and make you not feel so good, and maybe this is a larger self-esteem conversation, how can you condition, teach, nurture, and build that part of you up so that part of you can grow into the beautiful person that you are? Because you are a beautiful person. I feel very emotional saying that because I can feel connected with you when I say that. And I can feel connected with myself when I say that. This is the energy work part of this video. This is why I don't edit it, because there is like a neurological piece we're processing. There's energy in this moment. When you look at yourself in the mirror the next time, can you ask yourself this question? How do I nurture you? When you find that part, that voice that says, that screams out, that says, you're ugly, you're not good enough, I wish you were like this, I wish you were like that. Can you acknowledge that voice and then say, how can I nurture you? What's the best thing that I can do for you? What are you actually saying to me? What is the insecurity? Where is this coming from? How do I love you more? I think there's an oversimplification to the way that we perceive ourselves, and the way that you perceive yourself, and the way that I perceive myself, the way that we've been conditioned to perceive ourselves, which is that we see one object, so we think it's one person. We see one person, two eyes, all of this. We think it's one person. Our mental model of the world is each person is a person. But like your thoughts, are all your thoughts one kind of person, one kind of personality? No, right? So how are you really one person? You are kind of like an executive functioning entity with multiple parts of you that have different opinions, different needs, and different functions within the whole you that is the us, the we, the entity, the you, the me, the everyone. You're like one, but you're also many. So when you ask this part of you, how can I nurture you? That's the part where you're now targeting the part of you that is sabotaging, is hurting, is scared, is afraid. It's doing this for some survival reason. And can you cut the bullshit out of the way so that you can open the space for healing and love? I have these unrealistic perceptions of myself, and it's taken me years to work through so much more pain that I can't even remember anymore because it's so long ago, but I just know it was not good. And I've also done what I could to change the physical makeup of myself, but I'm not there, and I don't know if I'll ever be to a perfect, but better to not try and go for perfect, and better to go for good enough and love myself. Feel good enough about myself, that I am good, that I am a good person, and that I value myself beyond how I look, right? But in this dimension of appearances, especially as a YouTuber, there's this, there's that, whatever. I'm gonna look my best, the best that I can, but I'm not going to hurt myself because I don't look better than how I look. So yeah, so how can you nurture yourself? Remember this. Ask this, if you remember anything, just remember there's a part of you that can be hurt, that can feel insecure, and when you find that feeling in your brain triggering, ask it, can I nurture you? What is it that I can do to help you? How do I nurture you? Okay? Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for all of my supporters here who have joined my membership program. And if you'd like coaching with me, you can do that. If you just go to my website where I'm selling my book, you can also just hit the coaching tab, and I think it takes you to my coaching system. So I'll see you in the episode soon. Thank you. Bye.